Hello everybody, good evening, hello, 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 welcome to tonight's stream. Hopefully, let me actually flick over to the game, because then I can check if I'm live or not. Boom, right, let me get the game volume, let me get the music. Actually, is that going to work, or have I completely messed that up? Devices, speakers, properties. Oh no, you should work. Right, hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully you can hear the stream. I've tweaked some sound settings so that I can get the music to work. So if I press this, hopefully you can hear the music now as well. Hopefully. Hopefully, hopefully, hopefully. Right, yes, hello. Welcome, welcome. We can hear you twice. Slightly problematic. Is it like an echo then? Now why is it doing that? I guess I'm going to have to turn that off. How about now? How's that? There must be a delay on this as well. Come on. Just need to know it works. Just need to know it works. Yes, it repeats like 4 seconds after. Really? Have I still got... Oh, hang on. I might know why that is. Or do I? No, I don't think I know why that is. Why is it doing that? Still doing it. Alright, you can probably hear me now. I thought I was being really clever, but apparently not. So I can't change the audio track whilst I'm live. Oh, there's an audio setting here actually. That might be... Oops. Has my OBS crashed? No. Output, audio. No, it's just bit rates and stuff. Am I still echoing? Please, someone answer. So what have I done? In the stream settings, I've changed the audio track from 1 to 2. Still echoing. Why is it... I don't know why it's doing that. That's fine, that's fine. That's all fine. This again. Thing is, if I now stop the stream, I'm gonna have to set up a whole new stream on YouTube. Fixed. Hey? It would help if I had other people here, because they'd be able to tell me too. If it's happening at their end. Please don't tell me you had the stream on twice or something. Please don't tell me that. I've literally just gone through my entire settings because of that. Ugh. I need to stop listening to just the first person saying there's a problem. Gotta hear it at least twice before you realise that there's an issue. Anyway, good evening everybody. Welcome to the stream. OBS is still a dick, playing up, freeming frames and everything like that. I've tried so hard to Google the problem. I was recording Football Manager videos earlier and yesterday, and I've been holding off on recording most other videos whilst this frame stutter issue is continuing. It shows that the one-track mind that a lot of people have, because you type into Google OBS, Streamlabs OBS, frame lag, processor drop, whatever it might be. Because in my case, the processor drops from like 15-20% down to 0, and then that makes the frame lag. But all the responses, every single response is specific to streaming. Now, I don't stream whilst I record. I record whilst I stream, but not the other way around. Good evening, Gert. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I don't know, I don't even know what to type into Google to get the response that I'm looking for. I have no idea whatsoever what to type in. And that causes major issues because I don't know how to fix it. I do not know how to fix the problem that I've been having with this. I've tried Windows updates, I've tried Streamlab OBS updates, everything. It's still, periodically, the processor will just drop to 0, and then the frames will go from 60 FPS down to 0.44 FPS. Does anybody know why that might be, or if there's a way of fixing it at all? Because I'm stumped. I am truly stumped. George, what was the problem? Why were you hearing me twice? I want to make sure that this is okay now before we start, because if there's issues, then I don't want to spend an hour recording a stream that then no one watches. Alright, HST pulling into GSG. There's one of the high-speed trains here, one of many that will be joining us tonight. I've had some major issues with this, which I'll talk through in a second. Again, PCs just do stupid things. Yeah, I thought that might have been it, George. You've had me tweaking all my audio settings, turning microphones on and off and everything, and it turns out you had the stream open twice. Dull. Big dull. Okay, if everyone else is hearing me just once and once alone, so that little tweak I have done to the audio settings has worked, it seems. Can you guys hear the music? That's the other thing. Can you guys hear the music? Can you guys hear the game sounds? I'll turn that back on as well. So what I've done is I've changed the stream audio track to 2, and then the recording audio track is 1. Not that that matters for this, because I mute the audio track when I turn it into a time-lapse anyway, otherwise Alvin and the Chipmunks will be talking you through the M4J Network, which, I don't know, that might be funny one week, but not right now. So hopefully you guys can hear everything, the music, the audio, me. We'll find out in a second. But yes, welcome back to the M4J Network. We are here on OpenTTD. Today we are doing High-Speed Hijinks, which was originally going to be the title of tonight's stream, but instead it's going to be the title of the time-lapse video, because I'm really struggling to come up with titles for both for some reason. It's hard to name the same video twice, essentially. because that's basically what I do. You can hear the music. Fantastic. So that setting did work. There will be frame lag during the stream. I apologise in advance for that. Again, there's next to nothing I can actually do about that, I'm afraid. Apart from, you know, completely replace my processor, which I can't really afford to do right now. Good evening, Tom. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so yes, the plan tonight. Over the last week, since last stream, I have completely replaced the... Oh, you're here twice, Tom. That's cool. I have completely replaced the speed limit system on the HighSpeed network between between Grundhead, Apollonia, which I believe is where we branch off, yes, and GSG. So you'll see there are a lot more, ignore the ones on the bridges. Actually, I'll talk you through the bridges in a second, because you'll notice they look a little bit different too. You'll notice extra signals along the route now, and all of these signals here are set up so that trains going in different directions then have different speed limits applied to them, and it works. That's the main thing. It does work. However, because of the fact that lots of waypoints that were part of the schedule are no longer part of the schedule, I didn't want to wait for the trains to go through and reset their timetables. So I completely cleared out the times, started it again, and it seems to semi-fill it in. Like this one here hasn't been filled in. I think all the other ones have been. There was one up here as well between HighSpeed Release and GSG that hadn't been filled in, but that one appears to have been now as well, so that's good. This train does leave in 30 minutes, so I'm not going to be following it because that's just slow. I do kind of want this one to get done, although I don't think I need to worry about it. I was going to do it for the waypoints in the in and out of the depot, but I don't think I need to worry about it because it's basically 225. Yeah, it's basically 225. So let's put in some more high-speed services. That's the first thing we're going to be doing today. Now that the track is set up completely, we've also got some good news on the liveries front. Wow. The stream is struggling. Is it really bad for you guys? I hate to say it, this might be the last week of streaming again if it's really this bad. It's smooth on my screen. The preview and everything, the scrolling is smooth, and yet on the YouTube preview it's really bad. Not a fan of that. The bridges, yes. So you'll notice these bridges look different now. Big thank you to... Let me quickly get my phone so I can name and praise them. Big thank you to Tinny Can on Reddit for pointing me in the direction of the oh god, what's it called? Best of Both Bridges. That's what it's called. It only lasted a few seconds. I mean, a few seconds is a few seconds too long for me, but I mean, if you guys are okay with it, that's the main thing. It annoys me, but I'm a perfectionist. But if you guys are okay with it, that's fine. I'm just so paranoid now about people complaining in the comments and the chat. Yeah. Anyway, Best of Both Bridges. It's created by a guy called Jake, Emperor Jake, on the OpenTTD forums. And it combines the Oz bridges, with the Total Bridge Renewal set. So you have some slightly new and slightly different options here. I love this. I did have to go and redo most of the bridges on this section of the line though. So we have these ugly golden bridges right now instead of the lovely ones that we had before. It's because this is a 225 mile an hour track, even though the top speed is only 186 because of the track limitation. I think there's a way to change that though. So I could potentially use the viaduct. There is another add-on, new GRF, what you want to call it, that Jake has made that allows you to change the speed limits on bridges. So I could end up doing that and just replace these with the conventional viaducts. We'll see about that. But yeah, basically, I'm going to be doing some signalling tonight, and then I'm going to be adding some services. Oh, that was a fart in my ear from that diesel loco there. But yes, the liveries. That was the big thing I was going to talk about tonight, the liveries. So, me and George, we've cracked the code. I've now made the liveries as modular as possible. Currently it copies the BR livery or the Network Southeast livery or the earliest available livery for that unit. So I mentioned this on Tuesday. So for example, the Intercity 225s, The base speed limit is the Intercity Swallow livery. So that's the base that I'll be using. But I've set it up now so that each type of color on the loco or the unit, whatever it might be, is a layer. And then all you have to do is use GIMP or Photoshop to force that layer to be a certain color, and you end up with a working train. Now I will recommend, like the ones where it says highlight 1, highlight 2, make it a slightly, so base color, for my case it's the dark blue that I use on the M4J logo. Highlight 1, I've made it a slightly lighter version of that blue. Highlight 2, I've made it a slightly lighter version of that blue. And highlight 3, I've made it a slightly lighter version of that blue. The reason being is it creates the shading, lighting effect that you see in the game. So for example, if I find a depot, luckily there's a massive one just over here. Let's say I select... I don't think... I mean, you can kind of make it out here. I wish I could make my screen a little bit bigger so we could all see it, but there we go. Let's go down to BR Trains, since that's the one I've been using. So you'll notice, like, this unit here, the 155 Super Sprinter, it's not all one shade of blue. Even on the top layer there, where it's like a dark blue, I'm really choosing a bad example here. I should probably just get... Hang on a second. Could I, in theory, get... that's probably not... Oh, that could work. If I select you, what do you look like? I don't know. It didn't even come up on the screen. Let me make it so that you're only visible on the stream. And then let's put in... Oh, those are the Hatfield kits. That's why, because I don't think the Hatfield kits are available right now. Wrong thing, Mark. Wrong thing, Mark. M4J Network, M4J Rail, DMU 165. Okay, so if I make you visible, there you are, right in the corner there. Stretch you out. So you'll see here, it's all one shade of blue, and that doesn't really work very well in the context of lighting. So you don't really get the light and the dark and the shading like you'd expect. So the highlights, what I've basically done is every time the blue got a little bit lighter on the Network Southeast livery, I made it so that the blue got a little bit lighter on the M4J livery, and it you know, it kind of works. Kind of works. It's not perfect, but it doesn't need to be really, because you're quite a long way out. You don't really get to see it. I suppose one other thing I could have done was just find a train and zoom into it, but oh well, because you can get quite close on this. Look at that. Okay, signaling. I need to stop talking bollocks and start actually working here. So the top speed of this line is 225 miles an hour. I kind of have a convention in my head for if it goes into us, if every time there's a station and the train is stopping there, it slows down to 100 miles an hour. Some bits of track it's 160, some bits it's 140. I think this section here going in and out of the depot, it is, I want to say 120, give or take, but we don't need to worry about that because we only have to do that bit once. But just basically setting the rules for what the speed limits are here. Now this bit of track I want to rebuild because I don't like the way it slaloms through here. I would much rather this just went straight down, but we will have to cut through a little bit of Sanley Market in order for that to work. It is all on the level, isn't it? Yeah, it's all on the same level, so that in theory could work. It's a really quiet chat tonight. Really quiet. What was I saying about... Oh yeah, I was in the middle of talking about the liveries still, wasn't I? So yeah, the idea now is if you support me on Patreon for... It was originally 3 months. I'm considering making it 2 months because 3 months is quite a long time. But eventually you will unlock your tier rewards, and the idea will be if you have a franchise. I don't know why I've lost the ability to speak today. I've been speaking a lot today. My throat is quite sore. So that might be a reason. But yeah, you will unlock... Oh god, that's way too big. You'll unlock your tier rewards. If you're a franchise holder, because of the tier rewards, you will be able to download the Photoshop file, go into Photoshop or GIMP, change the color of the trains, send me the PNG file, and I'll be able to import it into the game and run it on your services. And then once the server is up and running, now that I've been talking to George a little bit about some of the online games he's played on, I get a better idea as to how the AI works. So it looks as though we'll be able to set that up hopefully in the not too distant future. That would be nice. I've made this way too big, and I've not made this bit big enough. But yeah, you'll be able to come on, run your own trains in your own custom livery. I think that sounds really cool. In my opinion anyway. In my opinion, that sounds freaking awesome. Some people might just look at it and think nerd, but to those people, I say I feel sorry for you. Okie dokie. Tunnel, tunnel. There we go, and down there. And then we can link these up, and it should be smooth running. Is everyone there? Can you hear me still? It's very quiet. Just checking I've not gone offline or something by mistake. Signal and signal. Alright, so that's that rebuild done. I will need to smooth the land out here again. Oh, George can hear me. Good. I'm happy being a nerd too. That's why I mentioned it on Tuesday, you know, the fact that I am a massive football fan, and anybody I talk to about football, they'll say the same thing as me, like, oh yeah, I'm a massive football fan. Then I'll start talking about little things I know, little bits here and there, and you can just see people's eyes starting to glaze over, and then you realise that they're not as big a football fan as they led you to believe. And that's the big issue, is being a fan of something and not really having anyone to talk to about it, which is why my Discord exists. So it's not just, a lot of people think it's just to talk to me about stuff, but I mean the OpenTTD chat on Discord now is a lot more lively, a lot more people talking to each other about different things, and you'll see me be a little less active on there now because I feel like my job is done. I've got you guys talking, and that was what the whole idea of it was in the first place. So I'll still chip in every now and then, of course. I'm not just going to ignore you guys, but yeah, it's building a community. That's really what it is. It is building a community. Whenever I talk to people about my channel, that is the buzzword I always use, is community. Not the TV show community. Just want to make that clear. But yeah, I've always liked the idea of having an active community built around what I do, what I enjoy. So it's good that it's starting to happen. I'm trying to think how many signals I need. I think it's 11. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That one's in the way, but that's fine because we can now obliterate all of these. 9, 10, and then that one, there's the 11th. So I believe it is a case of select you if current order is here, then speed limit is 100. That's a bit harsh. So I've been, I mean, my family don't share my interests, but I've been quite fortunate in that they've at least humoured me throughout my life. So if I'm rabbiting on about something, they do try and pay attention. When I got one of my nanas says I should be a football commentator, which is something I've considered. Local radio, maybe. My problem is I swear a lot when I watch football, and that doesn't really translate well to the radio. The slight spoiler alert, the Football Manager video that I recorded today, it was meant to be 1, but it ended up being 2 because of the length I recorded for. But I don't think I have ever been as animated in a video before than I was in this particular match. Hatfield Town match, of course. I won't tell you who the opposition was because it will give away the next couple of episodes. But oh my god, was it an exciting game. My team did things I never thought they could do. And that's saying something, because I normally have quite a lot of faith in my teams. But that was a real special episode. And again, the disappointing thing about my channel right now is that's probably one of the best episodes I've recorded. Some of the most fun I've had being a content creator. And I just have this sinking feeling of, right now at least, not that many people are actually going to watch it and see it. But maybe one day it'll be a successful video. But right now it's kind of going to fall by the wayside slightly, and that is quite not upsetting. It's quite sad. You know, I'm not going to lose sleep over it as such, but I really enjoyed the video today. Right, so we're up to 160 miles an hour. Now we're going to have a slight change here, because it's not going to be current order, it's going to be next order. And then of course the speed limit changes to 170. And then U 180. And then U 190. One thing I will say, this has got nothing to do with making friends as such, but it's always, when I was younger, I did always feel like, you know, liking railways is a really nerdy thing. So I tried to have other interests as well as trains that would allow me to be able to talk to other people. And that's kind of where my interest in football originally was. I kind of got into football quite late in life. I do remember being in Swindon, spending the morning at the Steam Museum in Swindon, the Great Western Museum, and then having to go to the shopping centre over the road to sit in a public park place and watch the World Cup. And at the time I wasn't a big fan of football, and I just wanted to go back and look at the GWR stuff. And that was probably, at the time, that was the most boring 2 hours of my life. But these days I would quite happily go and sit and watch that football match. It was England versus... who was it? I think it was in 2006. It might have been the Sweden match. I'm trying to remember. But I mean, my advice would be, if you do have a nerdy subject, get into sport as well. Because I personally think it is impossible to not like sport in one form or another. Whether it's football, whether it's golf, wherever it might be, it is impossible to not like some form of sport. So for me it's football and F1, they're my two biggest sports, but I do also get into the cricket during the Ashes. Sometimes I watch Wimbledon, but I wouldn't say I'm a fan of tennis. I don't think it was the Portugal game. It was during the group stages, I think, because I believe we won the match, so it definitely wasn't in the later stages. What's your other main interest then, George? Is it well, it's probably going to be politics, isn't it? So I'll nip that one in the bud now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then that one there, number 11. Now normally I would just do share things here. I think what I'm actually going to have to do is you go there, you go there, number 3, you go there, number 4, hello number 4, number 5, number 6, oh yeah, the Olympics too. 2012 was such a good year because of the Olympics. I remember being at school in 2007 when we found out we'd won the bid. 2007? No, 2005. What am I talking about? 2005. When we found out we'd won the bid. We were watching the TV in the library, and they announced London. And at the time, like, we were, what was I, 12 years old? So I didn't really think how magnificent an achievement it was. I just thought, haha, we beat the French. But yeah, that was a great year. Going down to Stratford like a month before the Olympics started and seeing them finishing off the Olympic Stadium, that was a really cool thing to do. That was kind of the first time I really started going around London and just exploring things. And I used to always just go to Stratford and see the Olympic Stadium. And it's great. The fact, you know, again, not to get too political here, but if you lived in Rio and you went down to the Olympic Stadium there now, it's falling apart. Whereas here, we have the Olympic Park still. It exists. You can go visit it. You've got the Aquatic Centre where I've been, not to swim. I went to see A League of Their Own being recorded there. But you've got the stadium, which West Ham are now occupying. You've got the Velodrome. You've got the Copper Box, which is used for esports. It's fantastic that they've repurposed all of it. The Olympic Village is now housing. It's great. We have a legacy, which is a lot of people criticised the Olympic bid because they didn't think there was going to be a legacy. So I hope some of those people are now eating their words. Not all of them, but some of them. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move this waypoint. So how many... Oh, God. How many... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let me take this one down. And then I can just do a simple share. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we are. I wouldn't say that was an interest, George. I'd say that's just a conversation topic. I've had this conversation with someone before. Talking about your disabilities should not be a substitute for a personality. So, I mean, the key thing there is don't let your disabilities or your mental illnesses, whatever it might be, don't let them define you, because that's not who you are. You're so much more than that. And if it's all you talk about, then that is letting it define you. So, you know, get interests. Railways, sport, music, film, whatever it might be. Have interests outside of that. Because apart from people within that circle, there are very few people you can actually talk to about it. I mean that as a good thing, by the way. I'm not saying no one cares, because people do care. But just don't let that be all you talk about. Because it's very hard to break that habit then. Alright, we're coming down to the end of the line. So I'm going to finish off this signalling. I'm going to add the services to and from Gronnwell. And then I'll have a look at doing the Plenborough line as well. Right, so the speed limit in and out of the station here is going to be 20 miles an hour. So it's going to go up to 30, up to 40, up to 50, up to 60, up to 70, up to 80, up to 90. So this one here is going to be 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, Oop. That's where the waypoints are in the way. Actually, I'm gonna slow the trains down a little bit here. So let's say 140 miles an hour running along the coast. So from here it's going to be 200 coming out of the tunnel here, 190, 180, let's redo this quickly. I can use one of the new design bridges as well, which is awesome. So yeah, 190, 180, 170, 160. Let's slow them down to 150 because that makes life a lot easier for me. And then I'll put you there. We'll come back to you in a second. So here I can use the Leppington HighSpeed bridge, which I think is one of the best bridges I've seen in this game. Some people might disagree, but look at the detail on that. The reason I found out this new GRF exists is because I saw a post on Reddit of a Japanese city in the 1970s, and I saw this bridge with a Shinkansen running over the top of it. I was like, oh, that looks good. So I asked about it, found out what new GRF was, asked if it was compatible with Total Bridge Renewal, and was told it actually isn't. However, M4J has created a version that does work where you can use both of these. So nice when people do that. I'm very appreciative of when people do that. So it's 150 along the coast here. And then we go 140, 130, 120, 110, 100. So I can get rid of like loads of these. There we go. 140, 130, 120, 110, 100, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50. Oh, not enough. Too many now, not enough. So 150, 140, 130, 120, 110, 100, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30. One too many now. Done. So you are going to be reduce speed to 140. You are going to be reduce speed to 130. I like music. A lot of people sort of turn their nose up at me when I tell them what my interests in music are. I've been listening to a lot of 60s music lately, which is something I never used to like. But I've been listening to things like Roy Orbison, Del Shannon, who else? Four Seasons, who I've always liked for quite a long time now. Lou Christie, people like that. Not the Beatles. I despise the Beatles. Not Elvis, because he was, I don't want to say overrated, but let's say overrated. I mean, he wasn't great. He was a showman. I wouldn't say he was the best at anything, really. Just a showman. There's my controversial opinion of the day. Some people are probably going to unsubscribe now I've said that, but oh well. I was expecting, some of you might have seen this on one of my videos the other day, I was expecting a wave of people unsubscribing from my channel because I was under the impression, or I was told actually quite recently, that my channel was dead. The fact that you guys are all here still suggests that that's not the case. I also got told that that person wished my channel was dead or wished it would die, which is so lovely when people say things like that, isn't it? So lovely. Alright, you're going to be if entry direction is from the back. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I won't name names, but if you check out my last F1 video, you will see. Check out the comments section. It's a lot of fun. It's amazing. People can be absolute pricks a lot of the time, but when you respond to them, they suddenly get all defensive and they're like, oh no, don't be nasty to me, please. Just arseholes. The lot of them. Arseholes. If you can't take it, don't dish it out. That's what I say. Alright. So you are going to copy... Oh, there's nothing there to copy yet. I've got to work this out. So, let's start from the station and work backwards, shall we? So you are going to be... if entering from the back, then 20 miles an hour. And then I'll add something here. If... entry direction, oops, there we go, it's from the front, then don't just allow it, but increase the speed limit to 30. I know, right? Some people, there's such charmers. What basically happened? Sit back as I tell you all a story. So I put out my viewer survey. When people bring out the violin. I brought out my viewer survey, and on the same day I did, I basically said, you know, if anyone has any feedback, feel free to suggest it. And that was a genuine thing of, if anyone has any ideas for how to improve the channel, I'm all ears. Because your opinion in most cases counts more than mine. So one person asked me on Discord why they were listed as a viewer in the viewer role, and why I didn't have a separate role for bots. Because at the moment, all the bots that I have active on my Discord they function as admin. So I put them under the admin role. Currently there's only 2 human admin. That's me and my brother, who may or may not still be here. And I thought that was a pretty substantial answer. And in terms of the viewer role, it's not meant to be derogatory or anything like that. It's just most of the people who watch my videos most of the people on my Discord watch my videos. So that's what that was meant to be. It's not meant to be derogatory. It's not meant to be like sneering down at you or anything like that. It's literally meant to be, you're a viewer, have the viewer role. And the viewer role is, apart from the Patreon only channels, you have access to every single channel. For some reason that wasn't a good answer to this guy. This guy has a YouTube channel. I have no idea what it's called. I have no ambition to promote said YouTube channel. But I noticed around about that time that their picture had changed to a sub to me please type thing. So I thought I'd answered the question. I thought that was the end of it. Like a week and a half later, that person left the Discord. And then 2 to 3 weeks after that, because I mentioned in an F1 video, which I'd recorded around about that time, about the bot roles again, that's when they decided to comment again. And this is like literally weeks after the incident. I get a comment saying, I hope your channel dies. And that person thinks that that comment has been deleted. But I screenshotted it. So I have a record of what was said. I could report that guy if I want to, because you can technically class that as harassment. I harbour no ambition to do that though, because what is the point? You just, sometimes you can't fight stupid. You certainly can't reason with it. But yeah, people can get nasty on YouTube, and the best thing you can do is... Oh, you're supposed to be the front, not the back. Sometimes the best thing you can do is fight fire with fire, because as soon as you reply back to them, they get so defensive. So defensive. It's like you kicked their dog or something. They get very, very defensive. I got these the wrong way round. You're meant to be 40. You're meant to be 30. And then yeah, they start playing the victim. I mean, when you're starting a fight against a channel that only has 1,000 subscribers, what are you exactly hoping to achieve? You're not gonna defame me, because there's nothing to defame in the first place. I'm a small channel. And on the other side, like eventually I got an apology and just said, I was having a really bad day. But I've had bad days. I've never gone onto someone's channel and wished it would die. And do you know what? If that person is watching this, I hope you realise just how stupid you are. Just how stupid you are. Because, if smaller channels work with me and are nice to me, even bigger channels, I'll happily give them a shout out. But I would actively tell people to stay away from you now. Toxic. I hate it. It's the worst thing about YouTube. And I've said that on Reddit as well. The best and worst thing about YouTube are your viewers. Rant over. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to copy from you. You're going to share with... Did I get the right one? Yep, good. Now I've got to try and get this right. So essentially... I think you go up to 60. And the back one stays at 50. I believe that to be the case. And then you... Whoops. You copy from you. And your speed limit is 70. Just some people might think I'm overreacting slightly to this comment as well. Because, at the end of the day, has it really caused me any harm? Not really. I'm okay. I'll run it off. It's more the fact that people think they can go around saying that to people just because... Like, the whole argument was built on the fact they demanded I did something with my channel. And I didn't refuse. I never refused. I just asked for a little bit more clarification. Like, I think what I said on Discord, because the comments are still there on Discord as well, I think what I said to them was, how would this improve your experience? Because if it's a valid thing, then hell yeah, I'll do it. Because I want people to feel as welcome as possible when they're on the server. But if you're going to be a dick about it, like, I'm not going to listen to you, am I? Why would I? You completely remove your own argument at that point. I've had bad days. I know I've snapped at people before now. In videos or in the comments or whatever. But, again, there's a fine line between snapping at someone and then saying to them, I hope your channel dies. It's just weird. It's just weird. Why would you even do that? What do you hope to achieve? Right. This one is... I think it's this one goes up. This was the problem I had when I was doing the other one, was I kept putting the wrong number in. So you're entering from the back, you go down to 70. No, if you're entering from the front, you go down to 70. So if you're entering from the back here, you are going up to 80. Yes, that's correct. And you are copying from that one, and you're going up to 90. So that's how I should do it, actually. It's odd numbers going out and even numbers coming in. I think that's right. I think that's right. Okay. The worst thing is that person probably is going to comment again. Oh, that's the other thing. I was roasting them. That was the thing they took exception to, was I was roasting them. When all I said... I can't remember what I said in the F1 video. Maybe I did roast them, but... You know, I'm an adult. I'm not on the playground anymore, so what is roasting someone these days? If someone questions me and I react to it, is that me roasting them? I don't think it is. If it is, you need to grow up, because trust me, I've had a lot worse. Alright, that's all done. The other thing is... Here, I need to put a signal. Alright, there, and you're also going to remove the speed restriction. And there's going to be another one. In fact, this one is fine for that. If entry direction is from the back, then remove speed restriction. Okay, so at some of the other stations I've had along the line, there's been junctions, so I've used extra signals along the way here. In fact, the best example of that is probably Gronnwell, because Gronnwell is where the Bar City line diverges. That's this one here, and it's also where the depot is. So you'll see here there's extra signals to slow trains down to diverge at these junctions at either end. Don't need to worry about that at the other station along the route there, because there is no junction. It's just... Which is this, yeah, Wenningport Westerdalia. This is all good to go. It's all good to go. Have I broken... Oh no. I thought I'd broken one of my commands for starting streams, but I don't think I have. At least I think this is all ready to go. So what do you reckon? Super high speed to begin with? Oh, I want to rename these waypoints as well. Mainly so that I can remember what each one does. So you're going to be Naywood high speed. Like so. And the one over here, where are you? There. You're going to be Gronnwell high speed. Like so. And then over here somewhere. Did I remove all of them here? I think I did. Let's pop one back in. There. And you can be Sludhead high speed. Yeah, that's kind of the point, isn't it, George? So, like, I was a bit peeved with this person. I'm not going to lie, but not because they've said or, you know, they didn't say anything wrong at the time. It's more the fact that, to me, if someone demands I change something on my Discord, there's a difference to me between asking for something and demanding something. Now, for me, a polite request would be, could you please explain why the bots are part of the admin role? But that wasn't what was asked. What was told to me, wasn't even a question, was do this, change this now, change the role. And all I replied with was, why would you like that? And they never replied. They just ignored me, and then they left. And then a few weeks later, I mention it in a video, and then they suddenly go, I hope your channel dies. Now, at that point, as I said, you can't reason with stupid. So any rationale that I might have had went out the window at that point. And if they thought I'd roasted them before, luckily I was in quite a good mood the other day when this comment came through, because I probably would have tore that guy a new one. No one talks to me like that. No one tells me that they wish my channel was dead. And the best thing in that particular comment that I replied with was, why don't you explain to my loyal viewers why you think this channel is dead? You put them on the spot, they tend to wilt. I don't want to fight with people on YouTube, but if someone says something like that to me, I will fight them in the comment section. And I've done it before. I've had people say things and I've reacted. And the thing is, they don't plan on you reacting, so they have no comeback. So you can carefully deconstruct their argument, much like you would in a debate, and they have no response. And that, to me, is a sweet, sweet victory. Have they changed the way trees work? They look a lot smaller than they used to be. Super high speed. Yeah, we'll go with super high speed. So we'll have like a service that maybe stops here at Grundhead. So it goes Guard City, here, Gronnwell, here, back to Guard City. We can do that now. Let me show you how easy this is to set up now. So let's grab you. You're going to be our first train on this service. And you're going to go to this depot. And then you're going to go there. We're heading towards GSG first, aren't we? So let's set this up. So you're going to go service. No unloading. No loading. That's all I'm going to talk about regarding that guy now, by the way, because I don't want them to have the satisfaction of being mentioned repeatedly during the video. But it's kind of, it's not a warning as such, but it's kind of just a message to people who want to be negative all the time. Because I've had a few people like that over the years. I turned comments off on my channel for 18 months because of people like that. Everyone who was doing that has now been dealt with. Whether they still watch my stuff or not, I don't know. They're allowed to, if they wish. It's entirely up to them. But some people have been told they're not welcome anymore for that reason. And again, I don't want there to be any confusion. I can take criticism, despite what some people might say. It's more demands. I don't like demands, and I certainly don't like demands from people who've got 6 subscribers and think they know how to run a successful YouTube channel. I don't demand things of people, and I have 1,000 subscribers. So it's not, you know, my subscriber count's bigger than your subscriber count necessarily, but it's more, you know, are you qualified to criticize? There should be a checklist. Before you comment on a YouTube video, there should be a checklist you have to go through. Where it's like, do you really know what you're saying? Are you qualified to make this assumption? That kind of thing. And if the answer is no to any of those questions, don't comment on a video. End of conversation topic, because I don't want to just rant about it forever. Okay. We are here at GSG. Look how easy that was. And then we can go unload. No loading. Have you ever seen a channel called Fainted? No, I haven't. Is it a prank channel by any chance? What was the other thing I was going to talk? Oh, it's to do with uploads. Yeah, upload schedules. To do with what you said the other day, George. After my video on Tuesday, you mentioned that thing that Zest Husky said, which is if you don't plan on sticking around if this series is to end, then this probably isn't the channel for you. And I so agree with that sentiment, because I had a lot of people who watched or claimed to be subscribed to my channel because of Cities in Motion 2. But I took a small break. This was, oh god, how many years ago now? 4 years ago, I think it was. I took a break because I had some personal issues, and I mentioned it on social media, and I mentioned it in videos. I said, there's going to be a little bit of a break, don't panic, the series is coming back. And I lost like 100 subscribers during that time because people are impatient. And then when the series did come back, I did this really big like announcement type thing saying, you've been waiting for this, here it is, it's back. Uploaded the video. I think I got like 20 views in 6 months. So I thought, right, that's it, it's done, it's gone. And as soon as I announced officially that the series had ended, suddenly I got all these comments again saying, oh, what happened to Cities in Motion 2? And, my response then was, clearly you weren't watching it, because when it came back, you didn't watch it. So I don't know why people would complain that it wasn't there when they weren't watching it anyway. But again, as soon as I said, this series is dead now, it's not coming back, I lost another 100 subscribers. Where were these people? Where were these people? Was my view count broken or something? Because apparently I had 200 people watching my videos, and yet I only got like 10 hits on each one. There's a fault in the system somewhere, because that does not compute. Okay, service is set up. Look how quick that was. And do you want to know what's even quicker? This is the timetable. Let's do the wait times first. So we'll do, let's say 15 minutes as the datum. Clear you. You're going to wait for 60. I think it's 30 that it actually sits in the depot for. I wish I had one that I could find out. You're a perfect candidate. But you're the one that's still auto-filling, I believe. It appears you have auto. Oh yeah, you are 30. And then it's 45 minutes. 15, sorry, not 30. And then it's 45 minutes here. Change time, 45 minutes, there we go. And then it's 10 minutes at the way stations. Yep. So 10 minutes at Grundhead. Sorry, not Grundhead. 45 minutes at Gronnwell. 10 minutes at Grundhead. And 45 minutes at GSG, except it's not. It's, I believe... Oh, no, it's 45. I'm going to change you to 20. So about half what it normally is. There we are. Have I got a delay on you? I have not. So it runs every hour. So we're going to do 2/3 of that, which is 40 minutes. Funny texts, Tinder posts, etc. So those on there worth checking out. I've started watching that kind of thing again. I've watched a lot of text-to-speech Siege meme type videos, and when we all know how much I love Siege, and that's one of the reasons why. It's just when you play in a match on Siege where everyone's having a good time, it's fantastic. Sometimes you play with a bunch of tryhards and it's not so fun. Oh, I forgot to do. Always do this. Gotta do that. Now that I'm starting to get my head around how this works again. Oh, I forgot to do that twice, in fact. There we are. Now that I'm starting... Oh, for God's sake, put you in the wrong place. No, I put you in the right place. And you go there. Now that I'm starting to get my head around the timetabling a little bit more, I'm thinking of rebuilding these depots so that they're not just dead ends all the time, but in fact you can enter from both directions. That's what some of the original designs were meant to be, but didn't end up being that way. Because that way you don't have to build these stupid loops like we have here. You could just have a depot, say, here, and then an entrance that side, and then an entrance that side, or maybe link it up on this side. Because, you're not going to be running through the station if you're going in and out of the depot. So that would make a lot more sense. That might be something that I'll do in the future. Also, this, in fact, the industry here doesn't even exist anymore. I think I deleted it, demolished it, bulldozed it, whatever you want to call it. Right, let's do this again. So you are going to be 225. And then this top one here is going to be 10 miles an hour. And this bottom one here is going to be 10 miles an hour. And all the rest can stay at 225. This train can now run. I'll lock the wait times. Set it to automate. Open up scheduled dispatch. Enable. I mentioned this the other day. I'll mention it again here. I'm not a huge fan of prank videos anymore. I like watching, if it's an enclosed environment, like Fail Army, I watch prank videos there. You know, you put like cling film across your roommate's bedroom door, that kind of thing. What I don't like is public pranks, because I feel like if you're not a willing participant, then it's a little unfair. So that one you were telling me about, George, the guy sitting on benches listening to people's phone calls and replying to them. Imagine if you're, like, you've just come out of work, you get a phone call to say that a close relative is gravely ill, you're sitting on a bench because your legs can't support you, and then some dickhead comes and sits next to you and starts responding to everything you're saying on the phone. You'd want to punch them, right? You would want to punch them. That's why I don't like it. Also, you only start at 7. Let's change that a little bit, shall we? That's why I don't like those videos. If it wasn't for that, like, I do like prank videos. I have a very good sense of humour when it comes to prank videos. Not enough to do them myself, of course, because I wouldn't be able to take the comeback, but that's just me. Let's say somebody choose a number between 1 and 30. Nice and quick, please. I'm going to save the game actually while I wait, just so I don't lose all the signalling work, because you know, it's not setting up speed limit sheets and waypoints anymore, so I am still cutting the time in half, but doing some of these speed limits is a little bit long. The thing that annoys me is when you go in the signal panel here and you highlight a signal, say this one, and as soon as I say click this, that panel disappears. So then I'm doing double the clicks again to try and get the panel back. That could be a little bit annoying. Yeah, I need that number. 1 and 30. What are we going to get? Is there a really big delay on the chat? There must be. 5. Okay. So let's say. All right, I'm gonna square that and say 25, because I think 5 minutes past this first train here is going to be a little too close. But I'm going to say 5:25, and then 6:25, 7:25, 8:25, 9:25, 10:25. The problem with the high speed is we've got six platforms in total at GSG, but only 4 of them are for conventional high speed. The other 2 are for railjet. We got 3 high speed platforms at Gronnwell. We got loads at Plenborough. So that's where most of the services are going to run. And then we got 4 at Bar City that are for both railjet and conventional high speed. So we can't run too many services, because each service stops at the station for 90 minutes in total. Well, 65 minutes now. Once for 45 minutes on the way out and 20 minutes on the way back. So we've got to try and plan it. What I would like to do is find out how TOCs, train operating companies, actually plan out services in and out of stations. Like, do they just have a block system and say between 2:30 and 2:40 this platform is occupied by this train? Or is it a bit more fluid than that? So I'd like to be able to use that, particularly on like GWR, because GWR is quite busy. It's probably the busiest because it's not run by me technically, it's run by George. So being able to say, you know, exactly platform, I don't know, this platform, or there is a platform that's going to have this service in it between this time and this time, that would be a lot easier. I mean, on the flip side, George, if you watch the People Are Awesome compilations, you'll see what these people expect to happen when they ride a bike downstairs. And then if you watch the Fail compilations, you'll see what actually happens when they ride the bike downstairs. They are quite different in comparison. I'll give you that. Alright, service is done. We are ready to go. I have no idea how many trains we need, but what I do know is you are going into... What's the code for Gronnwell Superion again? I'm going to have to find out. Also, ungrouped trains. What number are you? 922. Oh god, you're right down here, aren't you? Why did I choose one of the highest numbered trains? I could have chosen 912. In fact, I will choose 912. You're going to copy from 922. And then you are going to go bye-bye. There we are. Like so. So you are going in here, and then you are going to be 9BXX GSG to... Let me find out the code for Gronnwell. Ooh, where's my cursor gone? There it is. I can't spell. Come on, Google. Gronnwell Superion. GRS. There we are. Well, I'll just keep the one there for now, because again, I don't know how many I'm going to need. And then we'll choose the next train on the ungrouped list, which I believe was 913. Yep, you. And you are going to form a slightly slower... Actually, are you? No. I think you're going to go to Plenborough next. Otherwise, we're never going to make it to Plenborough. Are these people who missed physics? No doubt. No doubt. My Origin decides it wants to update now as well. That's great. Thank you. Cheers, EA, for not doing late night ones like Steam does. You will find there are some very intelligent people who are also daredevils. You will find that. But you'll mostly find that those who, you know, skydive without parachutes and all that kind of thing, they're not the brightest bulbs in the box, shall we say. They let off a slight dim glow. And then they wonder why they plummet to their deaths a lot of the time. But again, there are some very smart people who do these things as well. So it's not to, you know, not to be sneered at. Oh, good. I already did that speed limit. Did I do the ones? I don't think I did do the ones down here, sadly. I might have done one of them. This bit again, I think I could rebuild the track here. So there is a straighter... Do you know what? I'm going to do that. So there is a straighter curve. Because imagine in real life, going around this at 200 miles an hour. You would spill your coffee everywhere, wouldn't you? So let's fix this. Apex Legends, ready to play. Fantastic. I haven't touched that game in, what, 2 years? The problem with games like Apex is you kind of need people to play it with. And when you have someone who tells you, Mark, get this game, it's really good, and then they stop playing it after a week, it's not great. Here we go. Done. So now, if I build this up to, let's say here, just to check this is in fact correct. Yes. No. One more. Now it works. Oh yeah, I've seen that too. Yeah, people crashing their cars. I mean, I've seen people do really dumb things on the road. I've been very fortunate in that I've never been involved in a car accident. Touch wood. Hopefully that never happens. But I have witnessed some. And yeah, but bloody hell, people can be so stupid when you put them behind the wheel of a car. There we go. That works a little bit better now. So the first station is here. And again, I'm going to need... oh, why is the waypoint in the dumbest place possible? We're going to rebuild this as well. So you and you, like so. And actually, because of the way this is going to work, I'm actually going to move you... So that junction isn't going to go there anymore, it's going to connect up. Probably going to keep this like this then. And then just go you up here like so. So you are now going to connect like that, and then you are going to connect like that. And then we're going to go like that, and then you're going to connect up like that, and there we go. So now this waypoint is going to go right before the bridge. We'll rename that momentarily. And then you're going to be a pathfinding, one-way pathfinding signal. There's something else I do here actually, which I might as well do now, is add an if function and say entry direction is from the back, and then you shift this up inside of that. I love the fact that that's now a thing, because it used to be you had to create it from scratch, but now you can just shift it up like that, and then you can turn these into bidirectional pathfinding signals, that one and that one as well. And then if I spin these round, just means that it's not used as a waiting place. Now I know that you can use, I think it's long reserve that works sort of the same, but I prefer just doing it like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Like that, and then on this side, bloody waypoint again. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then that one. So I'm going to remove this tunnel. Don't think we need it. Do it like this. I think it's safe to say people do very stupid things. There was a guy at my school who got hit by a car, and at the time we were all like, "Oh, poor guy." Not with that much sarcasm in our voice. I talk about it with quite a lot of disdain now because I know what happened. But yeah, at the time we were all like, "Oh my god, that's really bad. What the hell was the driver doing?" But then it turned out that he was basically playing chicken running across the road, and he got hit by a car. Who saw that coming? Apart from literally everyone. You know, play with fire, you get burnt. That's how life works. Right. If current order... what am I doing? Here. If current order is U, then speed restriction is 100 miles an hour. Right, and then you are going to copy from that, and you're going to be 110. And then you, I can't see the signals when they're sideways. I'm going to have to zoom in. There we go. You are going to copy from that, and then you're going to be 120. And then you are going to copy from, you guessed it, that one. And you are going to be 130. And then you. Is that the right one? Yeah. You are going to copy from that one. And you're going to be 140. Does my voice sound a bit funny to you guys now? I've been recording like hour-long videos for the last 2 days. I think it's starting to take its toll. I'm not planning on recording any videos tomorrow. I've been toying with the idea for a little while now of having a week off. Just to let my voice get back to normal. I've had problems with my vocal cords in the past. That's why I'm always like paranoid about my voice. 160. But again, you take time off. Just when you start hitting a wave of new subscribers and followers, you take some time off and they all bugger off again. It's a weird world we live in. I'm a big fan of Captain Disillusion. If you don't know who he is, the name's kind of a giveaway as to what sort of personality he has. But he's basically, he's a superhero. He's a VFX artist who does some very, very cool stuff. He uploads like once every month, sometimes once every 2 months. No one, and I mean no one, complains how long it takes for him to upload a video, because the video at the end is worth the wait. I wish more people were like that. I really do. The stress that YouTube puts on you to create videos regularly, otherwise you'll lose all your fans. And if you're that petty about it, you're not really a fan, are you? Like being a football fan, going to Steamage every week and seeing less and less people there because we were on a bad run of form, you end up just looking around and thinking, well, clearly they weren't a fan. Otherwise, they'd be here. Doesn't sound funny. Okay, maybe it's just me. But yeah, I will be taking a week off soon. I don't think it'll be next week. It might be the week after. And when I say a week off, I mean a week off of recording videos. So if I've got like 2-3 more weeks worth of F1 videos, so they'll still be going up. So I imagine that's also quite confusing when I say I'm taking a week off and then suddenly videos still pop up. So I've got Football Manager videos for the next 3 weeks. I've got F1 videos for the next 3 weeks. I might have City Skylines for next week. But again, that's one of the ones where I'm struggling a lot with the frame rate issue. Which is why I'd like to get a fix for that. So that might not be next week either. But again, don't assume it's gone. And please don't hit unsubscribe just because it's been a while since there was a City Skylines video. There will be one. There will be one. I have footage for it. I can prove it. But it's a bit choppy. That's the issue. And because that's the other thing. You know, people will go, where's the video, Mark? Where's the video, Mark? Where's the video, Mark? So then you kind of rush production and upload the video and they go, oh, the frame rate's a bit iffy. You just think, yeah, you wanted it. There it is. You can tell, really, when it gets to someone, when they don't shut up about it. Right one? No, wrong one. 10, no, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Again, the top speed here is technically 186, so they never get to 190, but just in case I change the track in the future, there'll be 200. And then I might add a 210, a 220, and a 230, just to, or, you know, 210, 220, if it does get to 225 in the future. Who knows? And then the last thing to do on this station is grab you, and grab you. You share with you. Actually, I don't even need to grab both of these, do I? I'll just say if entry direction is from the back, then remove speed restriction. There we are. That's that station done. These little slaloms here are fine. I think there is another S-bend somewhere that needs to be rebuilt. These bridges as well, actually. Hang on, let me go over the route again. Because as beautiful as those stone bridges are, they don't function with the speed limit. So these two, at least all these ones around here, these work fine. Actually, what did I have the speed limit around this corner? I think I have it quite low. Yeah, 100 I have it at. Because it is quite tight turns, so you really want to slow the trains down. Look how expensive these are, by the way. 464 million quid to upgrade that bridge. It's a good thing I'm swimming in money right now. I'm hoping bringing back these high-speed trains is going to help with the money issue that the company is technically having. Why can I hear trains around here? Oh, this is the line up to Nut Hill, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, what's happened here? Wait, what are you? What? What? Okay. This, I think, is a fallout from GWR not working correctly. Why is that signal red? Oh, is there... No, there's tracks. What the hell's going on here? Hey? I mean, there's no signals along here. That might be something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That wasn't the reason, though, was it? Oh. Hang on, maybe it was, because, yeah. But even so, you shouldn't have been there. I'm just going to get rid of you. Definitely shouldn't have been there. How did it even get here? I don't even know that. How weird. Huh. Anyway. Very high speed. So this here is Brenfingley Astrea. Yeah, so this is the first... This is the only connection, in fact, between high speed and Transrapid. For now. Maybe down in Bar City there'll be another one. But yeah, down here, down here, down here. Grab you. Upgrade, upgrade. Oh, I think I just thought of something else that needs to be done up at Gronnwell. Doobie-doobie-doo. Maybe it doesn't actually. Oh no, it doesn't. That's handy. Yeah, no, it's good. Right, back to where we were. Which was what? Over here? So dive under there. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Here. So down here, down here, down here, down here. Shows you how long these bridges are as well. Down here. So this is another station coming up. There it is. This is Lenway Rialta. Yes, I did just have to look at the town name to remember. You can actually be this type. The outside ones can stay as they are. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And on this side, one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And again, if I keep with the system of putting the waypoints after these signals, then I can just do a simple copy-paste. This one's going to be a little bit trickier. Let's just do this. You can go there and there. And then I've got to build this bridge back in, which is... Oh, this one's not too bad, actually. Yeah, this one's fine. There we are. So yeah, that one's there, that's fine. This one's here, that's fine. Whoopsie doodle. You're a pathfinding signal. You're already a pathfinding signal. Swap you and you and you and you. And then do this, 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 this. Grab you and you. If entry direction is from the back, shift up. If entry direction is from the back, then shift up. That's that done. Oh god, now I've got to do the horrible bit again. You and you. Since we're copying this now, takes a little bit less time. So if current order is you, speed limit 100, done. You and you. You are going to copy from that. You are going to share with that. And you go to 110. You and you. You copy from... sorry, no. You copy from this one. You share with this one. And your speed is 120. You and you. You copy from this one, you share with this one, and your speed limit is 130. Oy vey. You, and 1, 2, 3, 4. That one? Yep. You copy from... Oh, that's yourself. You copy from that one, you share with that one, and your speed limit is 140. Then it's you and it's this one. You copy from, not yourself, you copy from this one, you share with that, oh, for God's sake, that one, and your speed limit is 150. This way you hope you got this right, otherwise you're changing the wrong signal. Yeah, looks like it's right. So then you, we'll pin you for a second. And this one, yeah. And which one was it? That one. So you copy from you, you share with you, and your speed limit is 160. Yeah, I wish there was a quicker way of doing this still. It's so much better than it was, don't get me wrong. It's just, it's more clicking now and less typing. And I'm getting RSI in my wrist as well, which probably doesn't help. That one. So you copy from this one, should we say? And you share with that one? No. Wait. Is that right? Something's gone wrong here. Hang on. $100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, and then you. 170. And that was that one. So then I gotta find the right one here, which that was a good guess. And then you were what, that one? Yes. Because that's the other thing. There's no names on top of these. You just have to remember where you got to. Particularly in the middle. Once you get towards the end again, it becomes a little bit easier. When you're in the middle, you kind of forget. 180. It's very quiet chat again, people. What's happening? $190. And then 200. Oh yeah, I forgot this was an airport now. So you go there, you share with that one. $200. And then finally, for this station at least, you and you share with you if entry direction is from the back, then reset speed restriction. Okay, gotta do this one more time down at Tuning the Estelle. Oh, bridges as well. Can't ignore the bridges. The biggest lesson you learn in life. I mean, there's the obvious ones. Treat others how you would like to be treated. You don't have to be right all the time. That one is something I would definitely apply in the YouTube comment section. You don't have to be right all the time. Sometimes you are wrong. And I don't like being wrong, but you kind of learn to accept it over the years. Oh god, I had a really good... Oh yeah, that was the thing. You don't have to be perfect. I think that's the biggest thing I've learned, is if I'm doing a stream here, for example, and I say the wrong thing, I, in the past, would backtrack like miles in order to correct myself. Whereas these days, I don't really care if I make a mistake. I just continue. Sometimes I'll correct myself still. But a lot of the time I just go, oh, wrong thing said, and then just carry on. You don't have to be perfect. I'd say that's the biggest thing that I've learned. Not just from YouTube, but in life in general. And it kind of goes with that of you don't have to always be right all the time. That one really gets to me when people, like the Satisfactory video, where the guy was adamant that I was spelling the word story wrong. And even when I showed him, like, you're American, I'm British, we spell things differently over here, he still wasn't having it. And he still kept trying to say to me, no, the Brits spell it this way too. Like, I was wrong. Like, I've been saying it wrong all my life. And it's just like, no. If I had been wrong, I would have held my hands up, changed the video title. That would have been the end of it. But I wasn't wrong. And it becomes that thing of, I don't want to fight as to who's right and who's wrong. But if someone else is fighting me on it, I fight back. That's kind of what I do. You can call it an annoying habit or a trait or whatever. But yeah, when someone's trying to teach me how to speak my version of my language, it's a bit irritating. So, at that point, the guy should have stood down and just said, you know what, you're right, I apologise. Or, you know what, I'm wrong, I apologise. Because, again, it doesn't have to be a right or wrong necessarily. But then, because I showed them enough sources to prove them infactual, should we say, they got really defensive again, because that's the default response when someone calls you out on YouTube, is just to go in the defensive and say, alright, you don't have to be so horrible about it. But when you're a patronising person, to put it politely, and you get schooled, be an adult and just accept it. Okie dokie. So I thought the station was here, but it's not. The station is here. Do I have room? I think I do. For the signals. One of the great things, again, about this new system is I don't have to put down these waypoints. You do still have to put down signals, which can cause problems. Hang on, let me just count these out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops. I think I'm going to just run out of space. 8, 9, 10. That tunnel was like that the whole time. You saw nothing. 11. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So bridges and tunnels are still a bit of an issue when it comes to this sort of thing, but you can kind of make up for that by putting signals on diagonals. So you're not having to constantly terraform now to try and make it so that you can fit down waypoints. And I think that's a good thing. I think that's a very good thing. You and you. What about you, George? What's the biggest lesson you've learned in life? Good or bad? Can be both. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Don't know if anyone here has seen the I can't remember the name of the show now, but it's the voice-controlled elevator sketch with 2 Scottish guys. They're trying to get it to understand them saying 11. Every time I say the number 11 now, that's the first thing that comes into my head. Of course. Mind you, you can't really have a quarry on top of a tunnel, can you? That's not really how it works. There we are. And then slot you in there. Lovely jubbly. Pop these here. So we do actually have trains running between Bar City and Tuningly. Although, what's the time of day? 1 in the morning. That's probably why I haven't seen any. That's a good life lesson. Yeah. You can never expect someone else to love you if you don't love yourself. That's what I read once. I don't firmly believe that because, you know, sometimes you do need to learn that others appreciate you before you can appreciate yourself. But, I mean, the sentiment is there, isn't it? You know what they're trying to say. And believe me, there are lots of people I know who absolutely adore themselves and no one else can tolerate them. So it doesn't necessarily work both ways. It's not necessarily, you know, you love yourself, therefore others will love you. It is, you can't expect people to love you if you can't love yourself. That's the expression. Anyway, I'm not really one to talk about love. If current order is you. Speed restriction 100. I hope. I think, is Tuningly the last station before Plenborough? I really hope it is. Yes, thank God for that. Whew! Right. But yeah, we've got the trains here between Bar City and Guard City and Tuningly. And eventually we will have the Guard City trains come down here as well, because this is one of the termini for the Guard City Southeastern. So there'll be lots of connections. So I think not all the trains why can't I speak today? Not all of the high-speed trains will stop here, but the vast majority of them will. $110. So you copy from you. You share with you. 120. I haven't done the flip side yet either, so I'm going to have to remember to do that. 0, 10, 20, 30. 0, 10, 20, 30. God, my wrist is aching right now. And not in a good way. I'm definitely getting like carpal tunnel or something as well, which isn't great. Biggest mistake I ever made. This might sound like a cop-out answer, but I genuinely don't think I've made one. Not like long-lasting, anyway. So I used to tell people my biggest regret was doing A-level and not just going to college. But it's kind of that's set in path. That's set in motion. The series of events set me on the path. That's what I was going to say. Then I changed my mind. Why have you not? Which one are you? Oh, you're that. Oh God, have I done this completely wrong? 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. Right, so you need to share with that one. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. That one. Yeah, so my biggest regret used to be, or biggest mistake, was doing A-level and not just leaving and going to college to do my engineering diploma. But if I hadn't have done that, then I wouldn't have met the people I did at college. I wouldn't have perhaps been in the right headspace to end up getting my scholarship to uni. And if I didn't do my 3 years of engineering at uni, which again I used to say was a mistake, I wouldn't have ended up on the media degree course I did with the people that I did. Because I would argue that those people, even though 2 of them I don't talk to anymore for reasons that have been well publicised on the channel, at the time, those people helped inspire me to be the best I could be at uni and help me get my degree. So, you know, I've done dumb things before, like I went up for a header playing football and split my head open. That's probably a big mistake that I made, which cost my dad €250. But beyond that, I don't think I have any. And I think, again, it's that mentality of if you assume everything you do wrong is a mistake, then you're just going to be in this negative headspace all the time. 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, yeah, 50. So again, sorry for the cop-out answer, but 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Have I done it again? I think I've done it again. You copy from this one. No. You copy from this one. I mean, it doesn't really matter in the end, because I am going to be changing the number anyway. But again, I'll say same question to you. What's the biggest mistake you've ever made? And if you can't answer it, you shouldn't be asking it. Not that that's to in general, by the way. That's not to you directly. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Because I've had people in the past say to me, what's your biggest regret? And then you ask them the same question, and they go, oh, I'm not telling you. And you just think, well, what's the point of asking me then? Zero, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So that's the 200, 90, 80, so you're going to be the 71, right? Yeah. See, now you get to the other end, it's easy to count in again. So 200, 90, 80, 70. So then it's 4 in. Was it that one? And then you copy that one. Change you to 170. So you're the 80. You're the 80. Wow, choked on some air then. Here we go. 190. Again, I mean, my argument for this is it might not be the most fun topic of a video doing this, but we get to chat absolute nonsense whilst we're doing this. And now I do the time-lapse videos afterwards, I feel a little more relaxed about doing these streams, because then it's the viewer's choice. Do you wish to watch this and be part of the conversation, help come up with ideas for the future of the series, or would you rather watch the sped-up version and just see the final result? Both of them are perfectly acceptable. There's no right or wrong answer there. It's just, I guess it's like, do you watch films in fast forward, or do you watch films at regular speed? You know, particularly the boring bits. There are some very boring bits of films that I've fast forwarded through before now. Never listen to what other people say and take that as literal. Never ever. Thing is, like, everyone, just trying to think of a way to say this that makes sense. It's a bit like yesterday when I was talking about presentations and bombarding people with numbers. You know, you've got people that will criticize what you do, and it's then up to you whether you take it on board or not. A lot of the time, they're coming from a good place. They're trying to say something positive to help you. Sometimes people just want to watch the world burn, and they'd be negative for that reason. But a lot of the time it's to try and be constructive. And the thing is to not take it as a personal attack, which is something that I myself have had to work on a lot recently. I mean, even over the last few years. If someone says, I think it would be better if you did it this way, a lot of the time it's personal bias. They want you to do things the way they do them. But at the same time, it's coming from that ideology of, if we're all on the same page here, then we're all doing the same thing, and we're all on, you know, we're all pulling together, and, you know, we can help each other out. So, you know, if someone says you're annoying, the best response is to say you're annoying. We're all different. There's no right or wrong way to live life. Despite what some people might say, there's definitely no right or wrong way to live life. What am I doing? No. This is what I meant to do. Get rid of these waypoints. Every single one of them. You can all go bye-bye. I think I have some over here as well. That's how we have this weird... Oh, no, we don't. No, we don't. I don't know why this exists like this, then. I'm going to rebuild this bit, too. And I'm going to do it the really lazy way, because why not? Did I bulldoze? Nope. I'm going to bulldoze those tunnels. But again, from YouTube, I've learnt a lot about mistakes and whether or not to take them literally or not. I really don't care anymore if I make a mistake. If I make a really dumb mistake in a video, then I care, but a lot of the time I just think, oh well. And then someone will point it out to me in the comments, and then they'll get upset when I reply saying I don't care. That's the way. That's what you got to do. And again, I don't want to criticize people all the time on YouTube, but there are some just mugs. Absolute muppets. Like having that conversation on Reddit where I said someone kept criticizing me because my videos were half a second out of sync or whatever it was. Like a really stupid number of nanoseconds out of sync. And the guy's response on Reddit, the first thing I thought was, well, you're an idiot. But then I read it again and thought, actually, you're right in many respects. Some people they do have sensitive hearing. But where I was coming from with my argument had nothing to do with sensitive hearing. It was just people being negative for the sake of being negative. That's why I used to have the rule on my channel of if you were overtly negative, you would be banned from watching videos. And the only way to get unbanned was to make a video in 24 hours to the specification that they demanded in the comments. And it was a way of teaching people that, you know, this shit ain't easy. You can't just knock up a video in 2 hours or whatever. It takes time. I don't really know what to say to that, though, George. There's no right or wrong way of dealing with that. It's a lot of like personal consciousness as well. Like, own who you are, but at the same time respect the fact that there are other people who would react differently to you. Compromise is probably the right way of saying it. There's a compromise involved. You know, I have that. I have a pretty dark sense of humour a lot of the time, and sometimes you've got to remember that not everyone shares that sense of humour. And it's things like if I'm around my grandparents or if I'm around my younger cousins, you've got to remember not to swear. Or when I'm streaming like this, I might drop an S-bomb from time to time, or I might call someone a dickhead. But a lot of the time it's what's right to say and what's not right to say, and having that personal filter. And not everyone has that, I admit, but you also... Like, people have to accept you for who you are, but you also have to accept them for who they are, and you also have to remember that you can't use things as excuses all the time. So if you do have, for example, I suffered from depression in the past, and I used to use it as an excuse. You know, I would lash out at people and then say it's not my fault. But then you have to remember it is your fault, because you can switch it off. I chose not to. You get quite lazy with it as well, I suppose, because it becomes a really good excuse. And the answer, you know, I've had people in the past tell me, oh, sorry, I can't help it because of XYZ. And I always want to say to them, what would you tell me right now if you didn't know that was the reason? Like, you can't just be a dick to someone and then say, I can't help it, it's because of this. Because then you're conscious of the fact that it's because of that, and then it's like an enabler, if that makes sense. I realise I'm doing all these grand hand gestures while I'm explaining, and you can't see me. So but that's my question of what say oh, I'm trying to think of a good example. I mean, depression is a good one. Say you suffer from depression and you're just a terrible person to people, and you keep saying to them, I'm sorry, I can't help it, it's because I suffer from depression. Oh, at some point, someone's going to turn around to you and say, what if you didn't suffer from depression? Would you still be like this? And that will really throw you on the spot, because then you've got to think, actually, would I be like this? And some people, yeah, they would, because they're using it as an excuse. Some people, no, they genuinely can't help it. So it's like middle ground. You know, some people might think you're weird. Some people might have a valid reason to think you're weird. Do you care? That's where you've got to make your mind up. Do you care? Does that really bother you? Does it keep you up at night? Or is it on them? Kind of like the idea of this section of track here being 120 miles an hour. Oh, I don't think I did the reset speed limit for those stations. I'm going to have to go back and check that. Or maybe I did do it. That probably wasn't what you wanted me to say, so I apologise for that, but I think that's the truth. It's about acceptance. You cannot expect people to accept you if you don't accept them. Because if you don't agree with their opinions, why should they agree with yours? So let's say 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200. Christ almighty, that was a lot of signals. So you are going to be 120. I would like to be able to test this on stream, but it's going to be like an hour before the train leaves the depot, and I don't want to keep you guys here longer than you need to be. Whoops. And I keep clicking the wrong thing, so I probably doubled the stream length just because of that. I think there's more to it than that, George. I think it's because of things people have told you, both good and bad, affects your opinion of yourself and others. It's like, I suppose one of the biggest mistakes I made was being diagnosed with depression. Because if I hadn't have known I had depression, I'd have never have used it as an excuse. But then at the same time, if I didn't know about it, then I couldn't do anything about it. It's more the fact that people tell you you're different, so you believe you're different. But some people believe it in a exaggerated way of, like the wrong way of saying I'm special. I've heard that a lot from people. Not people with mental illnesses, mind, but people in general. I've heard people say to me before, I'm special, and you really just want to reply to them, hell yeah, you're special. I've never met someone as stupid as, or as self-centered, or as careless as you are. And that, you know, congratulations, that is special. But then you have got people who have special needs, and then, you know, that's the right type of special, or, you know, the non-offensive type of special. It's one of the reasons I hate the English language, because we have so many words that effectively mean the same thing, but can be taken very differently when said in different contexts. But, I mean, again, this isn't a criticism, George. This isn't me calling you out or anything like that. But, in the past, you have said to me about your mental health, and you've used the phrase, I can't help it, it's because of this. And I would, at the time, have asked you, what would you have said in that moment if you weren't aware of the fact that there was an issue there? Like, what would you have said instead? And that's the question where you have to ask yourself, am I using this as an excuse sometimes, or am I being genuine still? And I think, you know, it's still genuine, it's just taken out of context, I suppose, or misused. I don't know, it's really not for me to say. It's really not for me to say. It's a bit of a minefield, to be honest. Because I don't know. That's the thing, I do not know. I've never had that experience, I just don't know. I've had my own experiences with mental health stigma and people treating me differently because of that, but that's something that, you know, it can get better, it can change. Not everyone has that luxury. I think, to change subject for a second, I think this is now ready to go. Yep, looks ready to go to me. And again, we have trains that come down here as well, so it's another connection to Bar City without necessarily going to Bar City. No one is really normal. Yeah, exactly. And again, I've used this argument. People used to laugh at me for liking railways, and they used to call me a train spotter, even though I wasn't. They are two different things, people. Let's be clear here. But then they would go and collect Pokemon cards, or play Yu-Gi-Oh, or swap Beyblades, and that, to me, is just as nerdy and sad as liking railways. But you don't... People didn't like it when you get called out for that kind of thing. So why do it to someone who has other interests? Just because they're different to yours doesn't mean they're wrong. Just different. Different is not a bad word. Anyway, why do people care what I think? I'm just some random guy on YouTube. Did I accidentally swap these round? I think I did. Or did I? Yeah, I must have done. So right, we got 913. That's you, right? And you don't have any orders yet. No, but you will now. Because you are going to go here, 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 here. Service. No unloading. No loading. No unloading. No loading. Oh god, this is completely unrelated to our conversation just now. I was just thinking about doing some more of the livery templates after we're done here, and then I suddenly realised that the HST, I suppose I could get away with it. I think the roof colour is the same colour as the side, like the black. And the way I use it on Photoshop is I use the colour select tool and then use a fill layer for that particular colour. So if the roof is the same colour as the sides, I'm going to have to try and find a way to split those up. That could be an issue. I guess I'm crossing that bridge when I come to it. There's also the fact that I might want to split it up a little bit more, because right now you can only use the same layout as the liveries have. And I want to add some more options on top of that. So for the 165 example that I've made currently, that will be like the stripe version, let's say, of the 165. But then you've got the GWR, which is like the two-tone version. So I might just copy the loco or the unit itself from the other liveries and make it so you can mix and match. And then I'm doing a really bad job of explaining this. Like the Football Manager kits that I make, you have different templates within the same document, and you can activate and deactivate whichever ones you want by making them visible. So that's why I have things like pinstripes with vertical stripes, because I've got both active at the same time. So I might make that be an option for the liveries as well, so people can create their own customizations. It's probably a slightly better explanation for it. One thing I would like to do in the future. I'm one of these people, I do think I suffer a little bit from ADHD, because I find it really hard to like choose something and stick to it. So there's lots of things I'd like to do in the future. I'd like to either be a shareholder or an owner of a football club. A bit like what Hashtag have done. I'm a huge fan of what Hashtag have done, actually. They've broken boundaries in a really good way. So if you don't know who Hashtag are, by the way, check them out. They're in the FA Cup this year, and I mean, that's just fantastic. A team that I used to watch on YouTube a couple of years ago are now making their debut in the FA Cup later this year. And I have offered to volunteer to help them out with stuff, and I'm not really sure where that's gone. Who knows, that might still be a thing. But I'd like to do something like that. I'd also like to be in a successful media production company, which I was in a media production company not long ago, but now I'd like to... Oh, I've gone... Oh, bloody idiot, I've gone the wrong way. What else? I'd like to make this a success, for sure. That's definitely on the list. And, you know, be in a position where it sounds a bit big-headed, but I really appreciate it when people comment on Reddit or YouTube and say, you know, you've inspired me. That's the word, is you've inspired me. And I'm not looking for credit or anything like that, God no. But it's a nice feeling to know that you've made an impact somewhere, in a good way and a bad way. That makes no sense. In a good way, not a bad way. That's what I meant to say. So, like, on Reddit recently, someone actually said they had their old save files open, and they could see where they started watching my channel because their building style changed. I think it's really cool that you can kind of trace it in that respect. And I also am very flattered that someone's seen my work and thought I would like to do something similar. Because I don't think what I do here is necessarily the best way of playing this game. But it is nice when people comment like that. I like positivity. What's the point in being negative, eh? So to be in a position where I have a community of people on Discord, on Reddit, in lots of different places, where people are actually saying, you've inspired me, you've helped me out. Not just to me, but to everyone within that forum. That would be a massive achievement. I would really like that. That's why I get very passionate about my Discord and wanting it to be successful. And the Reddit, because hardly anyone uses the Reddit now. It's that thing of something better's come along, so we'll go there instead. I'd like people to use everything. You know, if Discord isn't your thing, use Reddit. If that's not your thing, use Facebook. If that's not your thing, use Twitter. It's what it's all there for. There's no reason, like, anyone who says Twitter is better than Facebook has never tried to use those things for what they were designed for. Facebook is better than Twitter in that you have more characters. Twitter is better than Facebook in that you can get your point across quicker. Twitter's also better than Facebook because you can share things more quickly, but Facebook is better than Twitter because you can share more content. You know, neither is better than the other, really, when you work it out. They're both very, very good for their specific purposes. And they're also not the root of all evil. Just the people using them are the root of all evil. Did I build the waypoints here again? I don't think I did. I'm going to stick them back on this bridge here, because then that gives a reason for this bridge to have a break. Alright, last thing of the stream. We're going to set this up. Can I have another number, please, between... let's say between 5 and 20. Just while I'm setting this up. How's it currently running that early when it's got no orders right now? That's impressive. That was the issue I was having with the other high-speed train, actually, was it kept coming up saying that it was running ridiculously early. Like 2,000 minutes early when it was sitting in the depot. So basically it was going to sit in that depot for... let me just do some quick maths. 2,000 divided by 60. For 33 hours it was going to sit in that depot. And I don't think that's right somehow. So I did have to step in and change that. So you are 9CXX GSG2. Plenborough Tarina is... I've gone flying past it there. PLT. I hope I don't put too many people off by going on these little rants during videos. You don't have to take what I say too seriously. At the end of the day, it's just an opinion. I see the view count drop slightly while I'm talking, so it makes me wonder. But I don't know. Could be various reasons why that's the thing. I like to be open-minded, by the way. Just because I say I think this and I do that doesn't mean that's necessarily everything I agree with. I like to have my mind opened up to new possibilities too. Oh, it's going to be so good having these high-speed trains running everywhere again. I'm just thinking of the money, the absolute wonga that I'm going to be earning from all of this. Yeah, anyone got that number? Between, what was it? I said 5 and 20? If not, I'm going to have to use a number generator. Look how easy this is to set up now. It's going to take me the best part of a year to convert the whole network over to this new system. But again, getting people on the server, it's going to be so handy. Assuming that they follow my... So like if I set... Oops. Have I done this wrong again? I think I have. Yep. Got to stop clicking on that. Doofus. If I set up a speed limit thing on this signal, I assume that applies to every vehicle that runs on that track and not just mine. I hope so. Right, I think we're ready to lock these in, automate you, and then go into scheduled dispatch. 12. Thank you, George. So we'll enable you, start date of 0000, a delay of 40 minutes, and we'll have 512, 612, 712, 8, 12, 9, 12, 10, 12, 11, 12, 12, 12, 13, 12, whoops, 14, 12, 15, 12, 16, 12, 17, 12, and so on. You get the idea. Don't have to read out the numbers each time. Some of you might think not much happened this stream. We've only got 2 new services out on the network, but the for God's sake, I keep getting my headset cable caught on the cable that charges my watch. So I'm going to move that. So I kept doing it when I was recording earlier as well. And you like yank your headset off when you stand up and the cable doesn't come with you. Yeah, some of you might think that I've not done much today. To those people I say you're kind of right, except the framework that we've now put in place with this new system, the new speed limit system, means next week I could add 10 new services to the high-speed network in the same amount of time it's taken me to do this now. So there may or may not be a stream next week. I haven't decided still. I might take a week off because my voice is killing me and I'm tired and I'm cold. But if there is a stream next week, we'll go to Network Central and start adding some stuff there with the new depot design as well, which I've talked about earlier. If there isn't a stream next week, then in 2 weeks' time, we'll go and do Network Central with the new depot design that I talked about earlier. There will be a new depot design that I talked about earlier. There will. But it'll be awesome. Let me just pin this one as well so I can watch all of these and make sure they are all running correctly. It'll be awesome once this is all up and running and working, particularly things like Network Central, because it is so paramount to the rest of the network to have these cross-country type services and these cross-country type lines. So the idea next week is going to be, or next time, I'm going to say rather than next week, is to try and get that cross-region service from Kingston, which is here, right near actually Lenway. So Lenway's kind of in the middle of the map because Kingston was chosen for that reason. But yeah, to run from here right the way up via the Great Eastern Line here. Although this isn't really the Great Eastern Line at this point, this is something different. But yeah, run this way, run this way, run this way. Now actually we have a choice here. In fact, we have a choice back down here. We could diverge here, run this way, and into Tarnway and Funston, and then reverse, and then go up the Network Central. Or we could follow the Great Eastern Line, which is this one, and then head along this way, and then go up into Bathurst Street via the new connection here. One of those is going to happen. We'll talk about it at the time. But then it's going to continue right the way up the Network Central main line here, stopping at some of the major stations along the way. There's the junction to Guard City. We're not going to go that way. I'm going to keep coming up north, keep coming up north, keep coming up north, stop at that junction station there. We're then going to head this way and join up with the main Grand Northern Line. And the service is going to terminate over here at Beffing Way. That's one plan. There may be a faster version of that as well, which goes right the way up to Gronnwell. Although Gronnwell, I'm tempted to do the cross-country service instead. That will then run down through here and down to Kingston and then maybe even down. Because I want cross-country to form an X shape. So if it comes from the northeast of Kingston, it will leave to the southwest. So if we go right the way back down to Kingston. Here. So say it comes from Gronnwell, it will then come through Kingston and it will head, let's say, west here. Although this heads north again. Let's say instead of that, it heads down this way towards Drentbourne, and then at Drentbourne it comes out this way towards Plenborough, and maybe it will terminate there. So it will literally run from the very north to the very south. And there will be one that runs from Sanley along some of the new lines, some of which I don't think have been built yet. Because they don't all necessarily have to go north to south, they just have to run through Kingston. So thinking about it, if we had a service right the way across the map again, from Sanley, that runs up this line, through Charwood, which is here, and then continues up this way, all the way up here, gets to Fort Flonwood, which is... yeah, actually, maybe not Fort Flonwood. Maybe it goes... oh yeah, because of the way this junction's designed. There is a way, though, isn't there, where the GWR is. Could potentially build a connecting line here. I think I've talked about that before. Run it through Munfingford, and then from Munfingford have it run north this way, and then north this way, through Cadingbury, and then from Cadingbury run it this way, not that way. I'm lost on my own network. Oh yeah, sorry, no, yeah, I am lost on my own network. This is Bathurst Street again. Through Bathurst Street, and then down to Denston, which is here, and then from Denston have it go east again, down towards Bar City and beyond. A lot of future map changes, won't add them until it's confirmed. Yeah, I definitely don't do that until it's confirmed. Like, wait for the trains to start running before you add it to the map, just in case things do change again. But yeah, from here, from Denson here, we can go east. This technically runs to Bar City Central, which kind of works. And then from here, we can maybe head out east this way and off that direction, or maybe go this way down to Plenborough, and then from Plenborough reverse and go along the south coast line this way and end up at Pruntford. So we're still technically running right the way across the map via Denston, but more of a roundabout way. That was kind of what the idea for cross country was. Anyway, I've talked for 2 hours and 17 minutes. Add that to the 3 or so hours earlier, and my voice is baked. So I'm going to go have a drink, have something to eat, enjoy my evening, play some more Football Manager off camera, and yeah, see what happens after that. So until next time, guys, thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the stream, and of course if you're enjoying the series. Don't forget to check out the time-lapse, which will be coming out on Tuesday. It won't be all of this video, because especially like this last bit, I probably should have ended the recording actually before I started messing around telling you where cross country was going to go. I'll have to cut all that out, but that's fine. Or either that, or I'll just talk about it again with a bit more detail. Thank you everyone in the chat as well, much appreciated, keeping the chat going. Bit quiet this week, but I'm not going to complain too much, because I do still appreciate the fact that I have people turning out every week, don't get me wrong. But I like a lively chat. I'm really enjoying the Discord at the moment, having 5 or 6 different people taking part. That's awesome. That was the dream way back when I first set up the Discord, to have lots of people pitching in. Bit like if you go on the OpenTTD Discord, you can see how people there talk about this, that and the other. That's what I'd like on mine, but I know it takes time to build that kind of thing, so no pressure. Besides that, drop some comments down below, that is, future episodes and all that good stuff. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you guys for your continued support. I believe at the moment only 1/3 of my views come from subscribers, so if you are a non-subscriber watching my content, please do feel free to hit that subscribe button. It will really help me out. And yeah, until next time, thanks for watching, and I will see you soon.